Pokemon's representation in Smash Bros. Has always been kind of weird, okay? For example, Generation 1 is way too overrepresented, and there are several generations of Pokemon games, Generation 5 and Generation 3, that do not have a single representative. Not counting, and also you can count Generation 8 as well, because they get, but again, I don't think people want to see a Pokemon DLC. But seeing that Generation 8 and maybe even Generation 9 may skip a Smash Bros. Fighter, which would be very, very weird as well, because, we're going to be having 4 generations that are not even represented by any fighters at all. I get you don't have to have every single generation, but I think it would have been cool at least at one point to have Generation 3 have a Pokemon representation. Considering that's one of the more, Generation 3 and Generation 5 are some of the more beloved generations. Why aren't they represented by Pokemon fans? But we're not talking about this one here. Look about, if only Sakurai wasn't complete. Yeah, the corn Sakurai, yeah. Smash Bros. Community is very toxic. We all know this. This has been, of course, they have basically not been as common, but those who got the most requested characters, and the little arguments people have over who's the most wanted characters in Smash Bros. Like, no one gives a shit. If you want Xeno in Smash Bros., just say you want Xeno in Smash Bros. You don't have to send a giant death threat to Sakurai. Yeah, there was literally someone on here that really sent a death threat to Sakurai because Xeno didn't get in Smash Bros. Or on, Crash Bandicoot didn't get Smash Bros. Screw you, Sakurai. We will ride this in Smash Bros. Instead of a not fully evolved crap. And yeah, this is very ridiculous. Like, no one gives a crap, okay? Of course they could pick Salazar and Squirtle because those are some of the more very iconic. But they had to pick Ivysaur because they wanted to throw off the whole evolution. Okay, because I think that's a pretty neat idea. You want to show the whole starter evolution trio, okay? But the real problem I have with the Pokemon Smash Bros. Roster is how overrepresented Generation 1 is, okay? You have Pikachu, that's obvious. You have Jigglypuff. Why is Jigglypuff in Smash Bros? I just wonder who was the one who said, oh yeah, Jigglypuff must be in every Smash Bros. Game over Generation 3 or Generation 5 Pokemon representative, okay? Or the fact that we have Mewtwo. Okay, Mewtwo makes sense because he's a legendary Pokemon. I get the legendary Pokemon from later generations that are just as popular as Mewtwo, like Rayquaza, but would Rayquaza really make any sense to be a playable fighter? I don't think so, okay? It would make more sense that Rayquaza is a Pokeball Pokemon. Or the fact that it chose Pichu over a Pokemon like Scizor or Tyranitar, who are definitely more popular than Pichu. I get Pichu's cute, and they had development issues with Melee, but yeah, Scizor would have been a way better Pokemon than just be relegated as a Pokeball for the rest of eternity as well. And Pokemon Trainer, okay, makes sense. Okay, Mewtwo, Pikachu, and Pokemon Trainer makes sense. Red is the most popular Pokemon Trainer. Mewtwo is Mewtwo, and Pikachu is Pikachu. Jigglypuff can go, okay. But Jigglypuff should be replaced with a Generation 3 or Generation 5 representative. Gen 5, I don't know what Pokemon to represent. Zoroark is like one of the more popular Pokemon from that region as well. Or like you could have had Eevee instead of Jigglypuff. Eevee is a much more better pick as well, because Eevee, you could represent the entire Evolution thing, but that would have been too complicated for the first Smash Bros. Game. Okay, they picked Jigglypuff because Jigglypuff was very similar to Kirby. That's the only reason why Jigglypuff's in the game, because hey, this is really new hot game called Pokemon out right now. Let's pick the Pokemon that's more similar to Sakurai's favorite character, Kirby, because Sakurai didn't want to be a complete and not adding other Kirby characters. So they said, okay, Jigglypuff will do, because Jigglypuff is a balloon, and Jigglypuff can be a copy of Kirby. Okay, that's basically only reason why Jigglypuff's in the game. Okay, because Jigglypuff is a copy of Kirby. They sort of put Salazar in the game instead of Jigglypuff. Salazar is a way more popular Pokemon than Jigglypuff is, and I think if they remove Pokemon Trainer, I think they should remove Jigglypuff and just keep Charizard instead, because Charizard is one of the most iconic Pokemon of all time, okay? Jigglypuff didn't even reach the top 30 Kanto Pokemon in that Pokemon pool. Meanwhile, Charizard is like number 1 of Kanto Pokemon. I know Pikachu was not very high. I think Pikachu was pretty high on that list too. But Charizard and Pikachu are like the most known Pokemon of all time. And maybe they could put in Mewtwo. So if you really want to have the Generation 1 the most represented generation, I would pick Pikachu, Charizard and Mewtwo over Jigglypuff if in Smash Bros. Any day of the week, because those are the Pokemon I believe represent Generation 1 the most. Or heck, you could replace Jigglypuff with Gengar if you want to have 4 Generation 1 Pokemon. And yeah, Gengar is much more popular. And also Ghost type would be finally represented as well. Well, and yeah, Gengar is just a cool Pokemon. Maybe one day we'll have Gengar on Smash Bros. But yeah, that's about this video here. Goodbye.